How's it hanging, blasters? So, today we are going to be playing The First Tree. And this has been an indie game developed by a single developer, and it was just released. And so I am very excited to get in and to get the story going. This is really supposed to be more of a story-driven game. So, it's really about listening to the narrative that's going on and kind of taking in that story. I also know that this developer was there at PAX, so that was cool too. So icy.
Are you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. Usually get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain,
So beautiful.
just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Looks sad.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
It's true.
Well,
Does
if
not
you're
make any
not
sense.
going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
All right.
Well, let's hear it. I see something. No. It's my baby. My baby.
So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected.
Yeah, this is a sad game. If you haven't figured that out after the first 10 seconds.
She couldn't stay, though. She had to find her other two children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers.
That was like perfect timing. Like right after he stopped talking. The first tree. So I do know quite a bit about the game. So
Fox looked high and
after
low,
this.
searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story, too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
So beautiful. Anyway, some of the things that's interesting is that this is a story that goes parallel with, obviously, a story that's being narrated by a couple. So as the fox goes to look for her cubs, there's a story that goes along with it. That goes, hand in hand with what the fox is going through, looking for her missing cubs. Come here, you little rabbit! Come here! Got it! Okay, fun fact. When you get to those bunnies, there are quite a few of them on this level, and if you are able to actually capture all of them or touch all of them, you hear a sound each time you touch them, and when you get all of them on this level, there's like a super Easter egg. I won't do it this time around, but maybe I'll do it in one of my next videos. So beautiful. There's definitely a lot to explore. You know, there's a lot of, you know, just kind of enjoying the scenery. I like to think of it as, you know, just going on a really adventurous walk through the park. So these down here are some of those artifacts that the man was talking about. I believe his name is Joseph. He was talking about these artifacts. So we're gonna dig up this first one.
Remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week,
It's
even
freaking
after
deep.
his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
So a lot of Joseph's childhood was taking place in Alaska. So I think they talk about that in a little bit. Gotta do some parkour over here. Parkour! Oh my gosh. Got him. Some fun things over here. There's a little shelter. Stay away from the rain. Okay, we're all dried off. Now, I'm not going to try and get every little nugget in this game. If I did, it would take some time, I'm sure. Like the little paw prints. The little paw prints. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. Sun, so bright. I know I saw some stuff over here, so I'm gonna go over here real quick. Just climb the frickin' mountain. I want to get that little artifact over there. There definitely is quite a bit of running at times just to get to some of these artifacts. But that's fine. I mean, look at this. Look at the view. Look at the mountains. Okay. Next one.
The older I got, the more I withdrew. I asked myself, why talk to anybody anyway?
Get it? Withdrew.
Why bother when I'm happy by myself? I started drawing a lot, mostly animals I saw in the woods by my home. I then imagined designing my own hideouts with things like TVs and pantries full of chips and cookies. I think that idea of leaving home and drawing blueprints started my career. I found a lot of solace in that.
I'm not surprised, but I did the same thing, you know? There's something special about having a place to call your own.
And now look at us. Well, if you count renting in an overpriced city.
It's as close as we can get for now.
That's not a joke. That's real life. That's real life, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm gonna go for the double stars. Yeah! Nailed it. I'm going to emphasize this a few times, but one of the most important mechanics of the game, obviously gameplay isn't the number one thing on this. It's the narrative and the story and the meaning behind it. That's really important in the game, and obviously the artistry too. But the big thing with the mechanics is the double jump. Let's talk about it. Really, the biggest thing is when you do the double jump, you gotta tap fast. For whatever reason, people just have the hardest time, I guess, understanding that. But here we are on level 2. I just love the change of scenery. I think that's easily my favorite part of the game when I get to the next level. Now look at it. Totally different. You know, we can imagine being this fox, really traveling a long distance to get to this area. You know? It's awesome. So here we go. I love the music too. It's nice just to listen to it. All the butterflies.
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular.
Yeah,
Maybe just forgettable.
Skulls.
I guess that gave me a sense of freedom.
Audio monster.
So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages.
Never done that
break
one.
windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious.
That'd
But
be
he was
too.
so busy working, he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
That's right.
I think
Do whatever
being
you
an
want.
adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
Whee! See, when you get to those points right there, it's so counterintuitive to tap fast, but that's how you get the height. It's how you get the height. I will show you. See, not nearly as high. Okay, see how that? Boom! Double tap quick. And you'll be flying in no time. Next
I
artifact.
was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they'd come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin.
Yeah,
I
boy.
was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while.
Oh, the
The
cop.
next thing I knew, we were
Chased him.
careening around the mountain path.
Careening.
Rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings.
Like a bird.
But all good things have endings.
That was
A cop
good
outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket into someone's yard.
thing.
What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
Well, that'll teach you to disrespect them parents. Quick double tap. Boom. Easy. Do a little bit of parkour while we're at it. Yeah. Just look at that waterfall. Let's just take a moment. I love the colors too. Absolutely love. I love the colors. Whee! Oh yeah, this is the shot, guys. This is the shot. The one from all the trailers we've seen. Here it is. I gotta zoom out, I think, right? It's pretty zoomed out. Yes! I did it! We recreated that moment together. Thank you for being a part of it. Still, the music is awesome. Just look at the trees. Alright, next one.
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him.
Blew
saying how
up.
I never wanted to be like him. How I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good.
Freaking hick
He just looked
icebox.
forward at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I proved the ultimate point.
Yep.
But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity.
Nice.
Found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road.
Hence
Went
the
back to
waterfall.
Put the wet tape back in, and sure enough, it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, "Make this right," to himself, more than to me.
It's beautiful. Right next to that dang waterfall. Yep, that's what I thought. So, you can stack these butterflies, and
My friends would laugh about that night.
yep, now
And
you
talk
hear
about
the
how
rest of the
crazy
story.
it was. And I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush, unable to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber
Nice.
yards and evening beers. I had to climb over.
Had
That was
to.
my only goal for a long time.
Here we go. climbing in 3, 2, 1. Whee! Nailed it. That's how it's done. You taking notes? I was like, where's the star?
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of
Those
it.
look like fox drawings.
It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
Ooh, I just got chills. Alright, that's level 2. So we got a path there. And a path there. So I'm gonna go right up to the front. Here we go. Next, artifact.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian
piece of
rocks
garbage.
shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet,
Okay.
or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection.
Nice.
I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that
This
night
is his
in our
tree.
old camouflage tent. I told him how much I love sketching and design,
Joseph.
and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to
So
finally
pretty.
get me to talk, he would have
Can't
left me
handle
carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
Nailed it.
property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real. Growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
Nice.
Joseph, you can't go to sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost.
Yeah, listen to her.
Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like?
Was that her Patronus? Expecto!
You know what it's like not to have a mom at home.
That's what I think of when I
And
see
you know how
that.
hard that made my childhood. What helped me was watching the birds in the morning before the school
I
bus
can
came.
see it right there.
I thought that my mother was one of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her. My mom taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself
This is so
I would
sad.
fold one every day until I could fly myself.
It was probably a lot of cranes.
I think we both have always loved animals, and for me that love started with a dog. Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line and wait at the fence for me, but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment. I would even steal money from my passed-out dad just so I could buy these off-brand dog biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared?
So one thing that's cool too, if you're familiar with the developer, the previous game he made, there's actually some tie back to that. So if you pay close attention, even the last artifacts I was looking at actually are items that are in his previous game. So that's kind of cool.
I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind. The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more I became the weird, quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty
Dog
similar
biscuits?
when it came to being the weird kids.
That's kind of,
And that
yeah,
same
that's kind of weird.
sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you. Life got worse and worse.
Alright.
And at one point, I really didn't think I could survive another day with my soul still intact. I had no real friends, let alone neighbors, since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus one morning, I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words. I summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike.
Nailed it.
I'll never forget that feeling. The wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you.
Get back here, you little deer. See,
You have strength,
I love
Joseph,
that transition.
and you're not as alone as you think.
It's so pretty.
It's all just so pointless. Just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the home I always wanted is cursed out of my reach. The thought of being a parent myself. How could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son?
Too hard on yourself, Joseph.
I'm sorry. I know what
Chill.
you're saying.
Chill.
I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years. We'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
What is that?
Family.
Oh, Hannah.
I'm so glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
And I'm glad you're part of mine.
A couch. Just what I wanted. Nailed it. No fireplace. What's this little cabinet? Look, all the deer! All the deer! Or elk. One of the two. Hey! What you guys doing? Hey! Whoa! Whoa! Almost killed me. Yay. It's a very shallow pond. No, he just sat down. That was funny. I was like, what are you doing? Ah! Look, I'm having so much fun. They're trying to kill me, though. Oh no. Oh no. We got some platforming action to do. Well, that was a great start. Oh no. Is that double jump? Just gotta double jump it fast. Alright, here we go. Yep. 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 And yes. Alright. Did it. Yes. That's probably the hardest part of the game. And trying to hold in the tears. Fine. Alright, and that was that level.
The fox knew her last cub would be waiting for her at the first tree.
Name of the
She
game.
was almost there.
We're gonna
The rain
finally see
cascaded onto
the
the
first
jade
tree.
valley where the entrance to the tree
Whee!
was. Life was protected there, because that's where life began.
That was funny.
It was now only a mother and a daughter left. Items
Just
from my
the
life still dotted the
daughter.
ground as she moved closer to her destination and destiny.
We're gonna find that destiny. We're gonna get there. Gonna get there. And again, there's totally different atmosphere. Kind of feels Similar to the first one, but first level where we started at, but less ice and snow, which is great. I don't like the cold. I would never live in Alaska. Aha, I knew there was one up here.
At the end of high school, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Drive. I looked into the best architecture schools on the West Coast, then got a dose of reality when looking at other students' portfolios.
Dose
and the
of
high cost
reality.
tuition. I still wanted to be something, to be the next Alvaro Siza, and to make those thousands of sketches worth something in my grand history. But now even an internship sounds impossible. Siza helped me understand how essential emotion is in architecture. And he also said light is the real composer of space. I like to think these glints of light, like not finding a job, or even a strange dream about a fox, are something I should be thankful for. Even if the illuminated space is something I'm less than comfortable with.
Pretty. Like all little spreckles flying everywhere. Definitely a much darker tone on this level. You know what that means? Death. Just dark purpley. Ooh, what's this? It's a hospital bed. That's so depressing. Please get well soon. We miss you. Oh. Ooh, I see another artifact. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. And there.
Was that the last time you talked to him?
No, I called on holidays, and he would call on my birthday.
But that's it.
I guess we acted like nothing ever happened, which was stupid. Didn't want to ask about his lumberyard, and I'm sure he didn't want to ask about my job search. I never went back and visited.
I missed it.
I think the last conversation we had was about what movies we had seen, and what exactly a best boy is in the credits.
No idea.
I thought he would be here so much longer.
What is that? Are we gonna take bets if the last cub is alive or not? So far, hasn't been too good. Oh my gosh. Wow.
In the distance, the first tree illuminated the wasteland. She couldn't go home anymore.
The wolf's just fine.
She did the only thing she was capable of. Moving forward. My dad died alone in the middle of the wilderness. I should have been talking to him more. I should have done a lot of things differently.
If the first tree on Earth brought life with it, if it taught the birds to sing and fly and showed saplings how to grow, what could it do for us?
It's really pretty though. But man, is the story sad. I can't run, by the way, if anyone's wondering.
There was a letter I received yesterday from a name I didn't recognize, with a quote I can't stop thinking about. Death is not the opposite of life, but a part of it. More and more, I'm realizing one important truth. Each of us have our own journey to the first tree. But sometimes I'm not sure I'm ready to take that first step.
You already have my love.
We made it though. Got to the first tree. Here it is. So pretty. It's beautiful. Gonna climb all the way up it, right? Nope. Dang, I'm tiny. See how small I am? Thing is huge. Ooh. So these are stars. It's gonna be like really depressing. I love you, children. I think that's good. It's really sad.
I guess her journey was over, but I have no idea. It was only a dream, a distraction from tomorrow.
I don't think dreams normally bring back to memory so many important feelings.
Not
Maybe it was just a
crying.
dream,
I
but
don't-
it was also a gift.
I'm just
Yeah, I
allergic
suppose.
to the air.
Tomorrow we're getting on a plane to the last place on Earth I want to be. The only person that would have made the trip worth it is gone.
You're going to see him and be with him one last time before you say goodbye. I have one last quote for you by Emerson, sealed in an imaginary letter from me to you. It is the secret of the world that all things subsist and do not die, but only retire a little from sight and afterward return again. Go to sleep, my love. We have a big day tomorrow, but I'll be there with you every step of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Good night, Rachel.
Good night, Joseph.
Good night, Rachel. There you go. The heck. It's seriously so sad. Now what? Okay, guys. I gotta end it there. There's no way I can spoil the ending. But that's crazy. I really hope all of you enjoyed this and had a good time going along this journey with me to the first tree. And we made it.